are tuned in to your dose of positivity. I am Marlene Motivates, and shout out to all the channel members. I am Marlene Motivates, and you know what we say over here: just know it, just breathe it, and be it, and live your best life.
Be encouraged, be inspired, be yourself, you will survive. Just know it, just breathe it, and be it, and live your best life.
Marlene Motivates, your channel for motivation, inspiration, and positivity. I appreciate each and every one of you. Shout out to all the new channel members. Shout out to my mods and to all you motivators. I hope all is well with you. I am ready to get into today's topic. So if you have not already, hit that like. I'd really appreciate it. Today we're talking about comfort zones because it's something important to talk about, challenging those comfort zones, because if we don't, we never will achieve personal growth. We will never get to success, and we will never learn and grow into new things and become our best self. And it would be sad, it would be tragic, it would be terrible to go through our whole life and not use our talents and our gifts to our fullest potential possible. And I know that this message is for one or many people. We have to challenge our comfort zones. I know that it's uncomfortable. I know that it can feel strange. It will feel weird. There's going to be some uncomfortability, but you can get through it. So let me see who is in the chat, and then we're going to get started. Hey, Puzzle Pieces, how are you doing? Welcome. Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. I hope all is well with you. And we're going to get into today's topic. Talking about comfort zones, what are some things that make you feel uncomfortable? I have a few things, heights, being in big crowds, public speaking, just to name a few, even though there are many, many things that make me feel uncomfortable. Alligators, snakes. I think everybody has some things that make them feel uncomfortable, or certain people or situations that make us feel uncomfortable. But to talk about comfort zones, we first have to get into defining what a comfort zone is. So, what is a comfort zone? A comfort zone is a place, a situation, or a level where someone feels confident and comfortable. So, just about everybody wants to be comfortable. There's nothing wrong with having your times where you get comfortable in your comfortable socks and pajamas and your bed. But in our lives, if we want to experience comfort zones, we are never going to get to where we deserve to be. And I was reading a statistic. They're saying that is only 1 out of every 10 people, 1 out of 10 that will challenge the comfort zone because it's uncomfortable, because it's scary, because it's worrisome, because it's fearful, because of the judgment that you may receive. And also, it can cost money to step outside of the comfort zone. And some people don't have one or many of those things. So it does take a person that is very courageous. And to all of you motivators that are trying to step outside of your comfort zone, I commend you. It is not easy to push yourself into a space that's uncomfortable, a space that is unknown, a space that, maybe you have never been before, a place that you have never gone. Stepping out and challenging those boundaries. But, when we step outside of those boundaries and we, go for it, we go for what we need to do for us, because let me tell you something, every single person has value and worth. Every single one of you has value and worth. And because we know our value and our worth, we have to allow ourselves to attain it. So it means striving maybe a little bit higher. It means trying something new, going a place that maybe you're not the most comfortable in, driving to a place you're not very comfortable in, or doing something new. But, in doing those things, we grow as a person. We learn things about ourselves. And you just never know what kind of fun you will experience, how you can achieve success, not only in your personal life, but also mentally. We grow in a mental capacity when we allow ourselves to, listen to our own thoughts, have enough belief in yourself, motivators, that I'm going to not do what the norm. I'm not going to be the normal person. And that's what the majority of people do. They stay in a little box and they do what everybody else does. They don't allow themselves to challenge that comfort zone. They don't allow themselves to see themselves that I can improve, that I can be better, that I don't have to live this way, that I can increase my funds, that I can improve my health, that I can have a new surroundings of people. I can have new thinking. I can shift my mindset. All of that causes fears in a lot of us. I know it causes fear within me to challenge my comfort zone. But I know when I challenge my comfort zone, I'm going to do some growing and I'm going to achieve some levels of success. So let's see what's popping in the comment section here. Nope, I'm okay. Yeah, we'll talk. Kicking it with the Rooks. Hi, Shanti. How are you doing? Welcome. Appreciate you being here. How are you doing? Thank you so much. Liked and shared in the background, listening while I work. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Yeah. So it's very important for us to challenge our comfort zones. And I'm going to start off by giving you a little bit of a personal experience. For those of you who don't know that much about me, I've always been a pretty soft-spoken person, shy, I guess you could even say. And because of that, I tended to be more of an introvert. And there's nothing wrong with being an introvert, but my whole thing is, me being an introvert was so painful that I would never let myself experience new things, like going in crowds, trying, go to new restaurants, get friends and certain things, because I just didn't want to try anything new. I had got so used to being stuck in just being by myself. And there's nothing wrong with being by yourself. But the issue most of the time is we have to allow ourselves to see more, to learn more, to grow, to experience different cultures. To grow in our level of understandings. Sometimes we close ourselves into this box of a little world, and there's much more for us to experience. There's so much joy for us to have. There's so much things that we can learn and experience. There's so much more people that we could meet. So challenge your comfort zones. Allow yourself to even have the thought that I'm going to try something new. So your assignment for this coming week is going to be for you to do one thing that is outside of your comfort zone. And you know what that is. We all know the things that make us feel uncomfortable, the things that are hard, but try one thing this week to do something that you normally would not do. And then come back and tell me on the next live that I have how it was. See, when we challenge our comfort zones, for me, I'm definitely a creature of habit. I like to have the same type of foods. I like to eat at the same time. I'm very time driven. I'm organized and all of those things. So I like things the way that I like them. But every once in a while, it's important to try something new, try a new food, go a different place, travel to a different place, use a different mode of travel, instead of just a car. Experience a train, a plane, a bus, go ATVing. Try something new and different, and you will be surprised the things that you will learn and the fun that you can have. You can do it. Try it. Hey, S. Oliver, how are you doing? Welcome. Appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Appreciate everybody who is in the chat. I hope everybody's doing great. Happy Thursday to everybody. And if you have not hit the like, I'd really appreciate it. Now, let's get into talking some about challenging the comfort zones for personal growth, because the reason for this discussion is because I don't want for all of you motivators to stay in the same mode. We hear it every single year when it's January 1st. Everybody is so excited about the new year. Everybody's pumped up and so, oh yeah, I'm going to do this. And they're talking about motivation and I'm going to do this and I'm going to be crushing gold. But in the next week or two, all of it fizzles out. And why does it fizzle out is because there was most of the time not a plan. If you don't have a plan, how does the saying go? He that fails to plan has already planned to fail. So with all of that being said, we have to make plans, and then find ways that we can get to that. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But it's important for us to have things that we're excited about, things that we like, things that we've been wanting to do that. Don't sit and wait and procrastinate. Every single day we get a day older, and you never know, how life is. For one day you could be fine and the next you could not be. So because of that, we want to keep our momentum. We want to keep our energy high. We want to live a phenomenal life. And we do that by setting our goals and by finding ways to achieve them. So let's get into some of these points in talking about the comfort zone. So this is the point number one that I have. How do we get outside of the comfort zone? Well, first, we have to acknowledge our fears. When we usually do things because it's easier for us. So maybe acknowledging our fear is that we are scared. We're scared to try something new. So acknowledge your fears. Talk to yourself and tell yourself, I am afraid of this because. That's usually one of the things that stops most people. People will just say, I'm scared or I'm afraid, and they stop right there. They don't get underneath that fear and find out, why am I fearful? What is stopping me? Do I not believe in myself? Do I lack confidence? Is it a monetary issue? We have to understand why we stay stuck in things, because that is what's stopping our personal growth. And I want all of you to achieve. I want you to elevate in your personal growth. I want you to have the life that you could never imagine. You know, people always talk about the dreaming big, but how about you live big? Live to your fullest potential every single day. So acknowledge your fears and ask why you fear and how you can get past it. That is the most important thing, is when we have fears and we're going through something, we need to find out how to get beyond the fear. And it could be talking to somebody. It could be talking to a friend, a mentor, a counselor, but we got to get underneath that fear so that we get past it. You know, some of our fears usually are mental. You know, we have the mental fears, we have the emotional fears, and we have the projected fears. Now, the projected fears are the fears that people in our lives may have told us something. And most of the time, the things that are told to us are lies, or they're things that they are fearful of. And it has nothing to do with us. It's way outside of us. So we have to acknowledge what is our real and present fear, or what is a fear someone is trying to give to us. Okay. So when we know, is this something that I've told myself? Have you started to tell yourself that you can't do something? Are you putting your own self down? Most of the time we can be our own worst critic. I know I can. I will tell myself I can't do something, and guess what? When you tell yourself you can't, you won't. So let's change that mindset. Let's do some mindset shifting for a moment and change the way that we talk to ourselves. Replace those can'ts with cans. Always tell yourself, I can do it. Maybe you may take longer. It may not be as fast as everybody else. You may not have the financial means like others, but you can always do it if you want to. Remember, anything that you actually want to do, you will find a way to do it. So that's what we're talking about today, challenging the comfort zone, you know, stepping outside of the box of what you would normally do. And that is what most people do not do. They fail to go past that comfort zone because it's easier. You know, you get to relax, you could put your foot up, there's no extra expectations. That's why people stay in the comfort zone. But I want you all to challenge the comfort zone, even in one thing this week, so that you can grow. And then little by little, if you did one thing of stepping outside of your comfort zone, by the end of the year, you would accomplish 52 new goals. You would crush 52 new goals if you only challenge one thing per week. I'm going to step outside the box and try one thing outside of my comfort zone. You could accomplish 52 new things every year. I remember when my mentor told me that, I was like, yeah, you could. 52 weeks in a year, every week, try something new. See, that's something that is reasonable and attainable. And I always like to break things down, because when you feel overwhelmed, when you're doing too much, or it seems like that's not something I can get to, I can reach, then you give up. You throw in the towel and you tell yourself that you can't do it. So start small. That's one of the best ways that we can get out of our comfort zone. You don't have to accomplish huge goals, but small ones, one thing at a time. You can do it, motivators. Okay, let's go to point number 2. How do we challenge the comfort zone? Another one is to make changes to our daily habits. I think that this is a big one. Talking about changing your daily habits. Not all the time we have the best daily habits. And one of the things that I started to work on at the beginning of this year, you know, even talking to myself, because I'm going to admit it, I am definitely a person that I take my clothes off, I drop it on the ground. And I'm trying to stop doing that. It's been a bad habit of mine for a long time, and I'm working on it this year. And I said, I'm going to crush it. I'm not going into 2025 with this bad habit. So I talk to myself. I'm taking off my shirt or my clothes or whatever. I tell myself, Marlene, put it in the laundry basket. Put it in the laundry basket. And do you know, it goes in the laundry basket? Can y'all believe that? So that's how we start with reasonable and attainable goals. We have to change daily habits, small things. Start with my another one of mine was also drinking water on a daily basis. And we can't just say we want to do something. We have to find a way. How do we do that? And for me, I'm not a person that likes cold water. So I have to take water and put it in containers, small little containers. I drink a little 4 ounce container, and then that's finished. And then I drink another 4 ounce container, and drink another 4 ounce. And the next thing I know, I drank six of them. So that's how I get to the bottom of my goal. So it's small little things. It does not have to be big things, but it's challenging your comfort zone, everybody, for your personal growth. What is working for me, or the things that is a big deal for me, may not be for you. But I'm just sharing some things that I have been working on this year. Drinking more water, staying away from fried foods, getting my exercise, and taking care of my mental health. And another, stepping outside of my comfort zone, is going and doing more adventurous things, like you know going on plane rides, anything that has to do with heights, anything that has to do with animals, all outside my comfort zone. But I wanted to step out the comfort zone and learn some new things about me. And you know what I have been learning in stepping outside of the comfort zone? The things that I have always told myself were so scary, I'm finding that it's not scary. It's the conversation that you have with yourself. I have always told myself that's scary. So then how do you mentally process it? It becomes scary for you and you stay away from it. So I had to start changing the conversation that I have with myself, that self talk. It's not scary. You can do it. Take your time, take a few steps forward, try something new. And that has been helping me a lot. We have to change the way that we talk to ourselves. And I feel like that's important, to talk to yourself in the right way and to encourage yourself. Don't put yourself down. Don't try to do something like somebody else, because what another person is comfortable with may not be what you're comfortable with. You have to know your limits. That's why this is called for your personal growth. Every single person has different things that make them feel uncomfortable, and we have to try to push those boundaries back and step outside of that box and try something new for you, so that you can grow, so that you can be a better woman or a better man, encouraged, motivated, elevated, and more positive. Because that's what this life is about, is achieving and being our own personal best. Yes, each of you motivators, be your personal best. Hi, Nancy. How are you doing? Welcome. Appreciate you being here. Happy Thursday. I hope all is well for you. Yes, personal growth is just that, personal. It really is. And nobody can, I can't say, what people don't understand, like behind the scenes. People don't know the things that you're dealing with, you know, on the inside of you. Nobody knows your personal struggles. You know your struggles, but we have to work on our own and conquer them. And that's what this is about. I want to empower every single one of you motivators. I want to encourage you. Push the limits, push past the fear, push past the worry, push past the doubt, move those projections to the side and believe in yourself and tell yourself, I can do it. Yes, happy Thursday. So let me go to the next point that I have in challenging the comfort zone for your personal growth. Here we go with point number 3. Reframe discomfort as progress. So there are things that everybody has that's very uncomfortable, but when you tell yourself that that's uncomfortable, you're going to stop. It's about changing the words. It's not uncomfortable, it's progress. See, when we're progressing, that's a positive thing. You check that off. But when you put a negative connotation on things and saying, That's uncomfortable. I have discomfort, or that's weird. That's strange. That's hard. That's gonna hurt. Then what are you going to do? You're going to give up and throw in the towel because you're already telling yourself, I can't do it. It's too hard for me. So change your that language, change your verbiage when you're saying things to yourself, because that self-talk will take you right out the comfort zone into personal growth. Tell yourself it's not discomfort, it's progress. So you're progressing, and you have to tell yourself that. Anytime something is outside of the norm, not something that you really is your favorite thing to do, but it's something that you need to do, tell yourself, when I do this, I'm progressing. When I do this, I'm benefiting myself. When I do this, I'm winning. When I do this, I'm succeeding. Tell yourself the reason why you do something. You have to know your why to challenge your comfort zone, because if you don't, you're not going to do it. Okay. And I want you guys to do it. I want you to go after your goals, go after whatever it is that you feel uncomfortable doing. Challenge it and tell yourself that I'm winning, I'm progressing, I'm elevating, I'm learning, I'm growing. Okay. It's all about how we choose to look at things, how we choose to focus on it, and what is the conversation that you have to have with yourself. That's what will keep up your momentum. Yes. Don't set up yourself for failure. Set yourself up for greatness. Small steps towards success. That's right, Nancy. It's all about what you tell yourself. I think that's so important. The conversations that you have with yourself. Hey, Bryden, how are you doing? Welcome. Appreciate you being here. Happy Thursday. I hope all is well with you. Point number 4, challenging your comfort zone for your personal growth. You got to overcome your challenges. Now, every single person has a different challenge. One person, the challenge may be time. Another person, the challenge may be funds, your money. Another person, the challenge may be, just getting encouraged, getting enthusiastic about trying something new. Maybe because for a long time you have been told, or other people have told you, that you can't do it. You have to reframe it in your mind and start telling yourself, I can do something great. I can do something amazing. And you got to look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself every day, I deserve to win. I deserve to do this. I can do it. I am doing it. I am winning. It's all about the conversations that you have, challenging your comfort zone, the way you talk to yourself, and then growing. Every single person should be growing. Every single person. You should be. You should not be the same person you were last year, not even last month. You should always be finding new ways to improve and to love yourself and to believe in yourself more. And we do that in stepping outside of the comfort zone. And another one of that is reframing discomfort as progress and overcoming challenges. So how do we overcome some challenges in our life? For me, like I'm not a person, I'm not, exercising is not my favorite thing in the whole world, but I know that when I exercise, it helps my mental health. I know that exercise helps me to wear my favorite clothes. Exercising gets me, get some things like some negative energy off me. It puts me in a better mood. So I start thinking about that. And I'm not a person that is going to actually take out my workout clothes, look for it, has to be prepared for me. So in overcoming challenges, it may be the preparation. That was a big challenge for me, because if I have to go and go get my sneakers, go get my workout clothes, go get a towel, I will never do it. When I have my backpack and everything is in there, a water bottle, my my heart monitor, so many other things are in there. Thank you so much for dropping links, puzzle pieces. When you have everything prepared, you have your clothes, you have everything that you need to do for whatever it is that you're trying to do. Preparation is the key to success. When you are prepared, that means you have a plan, you know what you're going to do, and then you win. Yes, you will. You will win. But we have to find a way to overcome a challenge. All a challenge is just a new opportunity. I learned that when I was in my therapy. I used to always say, "Oh, that's a challenge for me. That's a challenge." And I had to reframe it in my mind. It's not a challenge, it's an opportunity. Every time when something may be a little, you may have to stretch a little bit harder. You may have to work a little bit harder. You may have to convince your mind. You may need a pep talk. You may have to encourage yourself and say, "You can do it." But it's okay. Tell yourself those things and move through it. You have to push past the comfort zone. You have to push past those fears, everything, in order for you to have what you want. That's how you overcome. You overcome first in your mind. Yes, you do. Yes, thank you so much, everybody. Please hit the like. I'd really appreciate it. Hey, Shantirement, how are you doing? Welcome in. I appreciate you being here. Happy Thursday to you. Now, this is another one that I think is very important when we talk about overcoming um, our challenges for the comfort zone for our personal growth. We have to talk about researching, okay? Because we have to research what will happen. Research what will happen, what is to come, and to know what to expect. Most of the time, that's the reason why we don't step outside the comfort zone and try something new, because we don't know what's next. It's the fear of the unknown. Well, okay, if I do that, what's going to happen? Who will be there? See, when you start doing research, you ask questions. When you put yourself in situations, go and look, see who is there, who is around, all of those things. Yeah, it's wonderful when we do the research, when we put in the work, then you can win. Okay, you can win, and we have to know what to expect, and start small. Start small little things. Challenge yourself to go on a different route, home from work, from the gym, from the store. You'll learn a new route. Maybe taking a vacation in a place that maybe you would never really choose to go to, but challenge yourself to do something new. And that's how you experience personal growth. It's through the challenges, it's through the uncomfortability that you learn more about yourself. You learn about stretching your limits. See, we are the ones that limit ourselves, and we have to stop limiting ourselves and push ourselves past that and say, I don't have to limit myself. I can do something great. I can do something phenomenal. And then you do it. And when you do it, remember to celebrate yourself. That's so important, to celebrate your wins. That keeps you excited. That keeps up your momentum, your energy. So always have little small goals that you achieve. And when you achieve it, you look at it and say, I did it. I accomplished it. I won at that. And that makes you want to go on to the next thing and the next thing. You can't just do big goals all the time. You have to give yourself small, reasonable, and attainable goals, and then also big ones as well. And that's how we get out of the comfort zone and we experience personal growth. Because when you keep doing a whole bunch of small little goals, you'll see in a little period of time, you're going to be way far ahead than if you didn't try. You don't have to do huge, big goals, but small ones. And then you're going to accomplish so many things. You will be surprised. I know I am every single time. A whole bunch of little goals, a little bit of effort can be big results. Okay. So let's get into our 6th point. So, we're talking about challenging the comfort zones for personal growth. So, one thing that I had to learn is I had to make some new norms that are realistic and attainable for me. Everybody is going to be different. What is something that you're doing that is just not working? I had to learn to be honest with myself. We do things that are self-sabotaging. We do things that is you know will be self-destructive. We all do those things, and we know that it's not good for us. We know that it's harmful for our mental, our emotional, our physical health, but we do it anyways. So make some new norms of stepping outside that comfort zone, trying something new, doing something that you've been wanting to do for a long time. You know what that is. I know there's one of you out there. There's something that you have been wanting to do. There's something that you have been struggling and keep telling you, oh, I need to do that. I need to do that. Do it today. Go join that gym. Go and sign up for something. Okay? Marlene, challenging. I'm not comfortable with that word. Yes. We're going to challenge. Yeah. Challenge that comfort zone puzzle pieces. Challenge it. Hey, Robert Gann, how are you doing? Welcome. Be safe, Robert. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, now now we talked about some of the things that helps. Now let's talk about some ways that will help us to get outside of the comfort zone. What are some things that can help us to get outside of the comfort zone? This is the ways that can help us, okay? So some things that will help us for our personal growth is I've been hearing it since I was a little child, get up early. When we get up early, we're able to do so many things. We're able to accomplish so much before it's even lunchtime. So get up early, maybe doing exercise, maybe doing whatever it is, taking those, sending those emails. I was always told by my mentor that if you want to do something and you're in a position that you're not where you want to be, first, you have to continue doing what you have to do so that you can pay your bills, so that you can handle your responsibilities. But you should be working on making your hobby what you want to do for the rest of your life. So that means waking up early. It means staying up late. It means doing your research. It means making phone calls. It means, working your business until your business works. But challenging that comfort zone. And then next thing you know, you'll be able to live the life that you want because you've been putting in the work. Put in the work to win, everybody. Okay. So get up early. Another way to step outside of the comfort zone is meditate. I think every single person, all of you motivators are going through something. Everybody is under an extreme amount of stress. And we have to challenge that comfort zone. We really do. We have to step outside that comfort zone and, just take some time for yourself. And it's very challenging to all the mothers, the fathers, the aunts, the uncles, the grandparents, whoever caregiver roles. It's hard to cut out some time that is just for you, but it's important because when we meditate, we take care of ourselves, we take care of our mental health, we take care of our physical health, and we recharge our own batteries. We have to do that for ourselves. And if we don't, we're going to burn out. Okay? Meditate. Point number 3, in getting outside of the comfort zone, this is very important, to focus on one thing at a time. One thing at a time, everybody. And I know that I was definitely a person that when I said, oh, I'm going to do 30 goals. And my mentor was like, hold on, that is too much. Let's get into more reasonable. Let's start off with 3 things that you want to do. Start off with the first thing, the thing that you want to do the most. Let's start there. So focus on one thing and then accomplish it. That is the hardest part. Focus on what you want to do and then accomplish it. Don't give up until you get to where you want to be. Okay, so focus on that one thing, accomplish it, and then move on to the next. That's how we get outside of the comfort zone. And you have your list. This is, I want to do this, and this. So give yourself those three things and then do that first thing and complete it. Then go to the second thing. See, my thing was I would start all 3 to 5 things, but never finish any of those tasks. So in challenging the comfort zone, we're not going to procrastinate. We're not going to easily give in, throw in the towel just because it's hard, just because it's tough, just because we've hit a roadblock, just because somebody said something to us. Anything that we really want to accomplish and have in this life is going to take work. It's going to take sacrifice. It's going to be some sort of challenge, but that's how you achieve personal growth. Okay, it doesn't happen easily, and if it did, then everybody would get certain things, but it's only for those who really put in the hard work and push through it. So you can do it, everybody. Focus on one thing at a time. And another thing that will help you to challenge your comfort zone is to talk to someone. Now, I know that, all of these things are important, but for me, having an accountability partner. uh, hey, Nark, how are you doing? Welcome. Appreciate you being here. I hope you're doing well. Happy Thursday. That's something that really, like, I felt like that helped me to like escalate so rapidly in my life, is having accountability partners. That helped me so much because when you have somebody saying, hey, did you do this? How long? What did it take? Why didn't you do it? When you have somebody that holds you accountable to do something, it helps your growth go through the roof. So if you don't have accountability partners for whatever it is that you are trying to get to, get some. Get an accountability partner, get some mentors. And when you're in this zone of trying to achieve something, you're going to have to leave some people alone, the people who are getting you distracted, and you got to focus in on yourself. You got to get, what they call it, I can't think of the word right now, but you have to get focused on your target at hand. You have to get focused on what it is that you want. Okay, you can do it. Focus, but talk to somebody. Having that support when you feel discouraged and somebody said, it's okay, rest today, but then tomorrow get busy. And then the next day, hey, did you do it? That gives me like a boost to have accountability partners. That has changed my business. It has helped my mental health. It's helped everything in my life. Having people in my life that don't just accept, like, because if it's up to us, and I know for sure, telling the truth and being transparent, if it's up to me, there's so much things I would not accomplish. But having people that I've told certain things to, and they're going to hold me responsible. Check me on it. Did you do this? Did you do that? Why not? How much did it cost? What do you do? And not just saying, show me the receipts, show me the proof that you did it. Call me when you're going for a walk. Call me when you're doing X, Y, and Z. That will encourage you. Let me go and do it before they call me. Okay. And that helps you when you have somebody on your back. Okay. You got to have somebody saying, not only you, but them as well. You held them accountable, and they hold you accountable. Okay. Another thing that helps you to challenge that comfort zone is to listen more than you speak. Mm, that one is so hard when you want to say something. Challenging your comfort zone, sometimes for us to grow, and when you're learning from somebody, or when you're trying to achieve something and you don't know, sometimes you just need to be quiet. Just be quiet and listen to somebody. It may be the reason why you don't have certain things. Just listen. you know For me, mine was just like, just zip it, Marlene. Okay, just zip it and listen. Listen to somebody else. Somebody else may give you ideas, some things that you have not thought about, some things that you have not thought to do and to be. Everybody can learn from somebody, but you have to be open to it. And that's the thing about challenging your comfort zone for your personal growth. You have to be in a space in your life, okay? You have to be at a space and a stage in your life where you're open enough to say, I can grow, I can learn, I can elevate, I'm strong enough, I'm smart enough. You have to tell yourself that, because you're always going to be under the radar from other people. Always. There's always going to be people passing judgments. There's always going to be people who don't like you. If you're waiting for perfect circumstances, it's not going to come to you. I'm just trying to tell you, I'm being realistic. If we are waiting for perfect situations to have and to do things, no. We have to, however your life is right now, you have to put in the work. You have to encourage yourself. You got to get some support system. You got to get some support people to help you. And then you have to encourage yourself and then rinse and repeat. Okay? You can do it. Oh, I'm so sorry, Narc. Hopefully it gets better for you. Hi, Colton. How are you doing? Happy Thursday. Appreciate you being here. I hope all is well with you. Yeah, and that's one thing, me learning and growing when it comes to business or many other things, learning about relationships, not jumping to conclusions, and not always having to be right. Sometimes you just need to just sip it and just listen. You don't always have to be right. You don't always have to have a solution. Sometimes you just need to listen. And that is something that is hard for so many of us. We want to go, go, go. We want what we want, when we want it, how we want it. So that's a controlling thing. And to experience personal growth, sometimes you got to release it and let it go. You have to learn to ask for help. Okay, that's a big one. Speaking up and saying, I need some help. Yeah, and that's challenging the comfort zone, because that means that you have to say, I don't always know the answer. I don't always have the solution. I need someone to help me to get from where I am to where I want to be. Okay. Step outside that comfort zone and ask for help and learn to listen more than you speak. Another one in stepping outside of the comfort zone is volunteering. There's so many children, the elderly, special needs. There's always someone who needs some help. And in challenging the comfort zone for your personal growth, sometimes we may think that our situation is so hard, so difficult, so stressful, until you hear another person's story. When we give back to others, when you help somebody else, when you just listen and not make it be about yourself, but let it be about somebody else. Open up yourself to be kind, to be compassionate to somebody else. You achieve that personal growth. And what I have learned is my life is not that bad. I'm actually rocking it. That's how I feel. So it's about, perspective and in that personal growth and growing and challenging your comfort zone. You have to allow yourself to not let it be about you all the time. Sometimes to achieve your personal growth, you have to give back. You have to recharge, and you recharge by helping another person. Sometimes just being a listening ear, sometimes just being a support to somebody else. That will help you to achieve some personal growth. And another thing is to make goals with an end date. How I was talking about making your goals reasonable and attainable? Yeah. You have to have an end date. You can't just say, I want to do this and just throw that out there. It has to be more than just saying you want to do something. Okay. You have to have a short-term goal and a long-term goal. The short-term goals are goals that you can achieve within the next 30 days. Okay, that's short term. Long term is 6 months or longer. Okay, so with all of that, you say, okay, my first short term goal in the next month, I'm going to do this. And then you write it down. How are you going to do it? Who's your accountability partners going to be? All of those things. How much is it going to cost? What do I need to do? And then do it. Then get into the action. And when you fall down, and let me tell you, you will. I'm not trying to be discouraging. Everybody, when you start off, you get so excited. I'm just letting you know that you will fall down. There will be some blockages. There will be roadblocks, but go past that. Okay, you fell down. Okay, get back up. It's time to do this again. Let's try it again. Why didn't that work? Did I give up in my mind? Did I listen to other people? What was it? And then do it again. Okay. And this is my ninth and my last point, everybody. I was talking about earlier about how important it is to have an accountability partner. It is. It's so important to have an accountability partner because that's somebody who's going to encourage you. And everybody needs encouragement to get to their goals. Nobody gets to where they're going on their own. Everybody has to have somebody in their ear telling them that they're doing great, telling them, well, it's okay if that didn't work out. I'm here. I support you. All of those things. So have your accountability partners and go for it. Okay. That's important. So the link is in the chat if anybody is interested in sharing their thoughts about, personal growth, or what challenges do you face, motivators, for your personal growth. I think it's important to talk about your challenges so that you can face them. I feel that that's the biggest issue for most of us, is talking about our challenges and then finding ways to get past it. Get past it. Get past it, everybody. You can get past it. I believe in every single one of you. I want the best for every single one of you. And it means that we have to challenge the comfort zone. It means we have to do our best. It means we can do it, but you're the one that has to say it. My life didn't change in direction until I allowed myself to win, until I started, saying it's okay. You don't have to control everything, and everything doesn't have to be perfect. Okay. It doesn't have to be perfect, Marlene. And I say that to you, all you motivators too. It does not have to be perfect. All you have to do is try, and then try again, and then try again, and then try again. And one of those tries are going to be your success. And one of those tries, you're going to learn something. And one of those tries, you're going to grow into something. And one of those tries is going to be something that you're going to learn for you to get to the next level in your life. But you have to challenge the comfort zone. Sitting down, putting your feet up, being relaxed, that's wonderful, because we work hard and we need to relax, but it cannot be all relaxation. You got to have some drive. You got to have some get up and go. You have to have some, I can do it. You have to have somebody behind you too. You got to have your accountability partner, like, hey, what are you doing? I thought you said you were going to do that. When are you going to do it? Come on, let's go. Let's do this. I'm giving you an hour. Put your shoes on. Period. That's what you have to have. You have to have accountability partners, and you have to have some good people in your life that will motivate you to win. And I want you all to win. Okay. I see Miss Nexie in the background. Let's welcome her to the show. Hey, Miss Nexie.
Oh, hello, Marlene. I'm so sorry. I had the mic off,
It's
and
okay.
I'm trying to do like 1,000 things at once. How are you?
I'm doing great.
So I was like, she did this just for me today. She just throwing rocks at me because I'm always in my little cocoon. I don't take chances. I don't go out of my comfort zone. I said,
Mhm.
"Ooh, Marlene, Marlene, Marlene."
Listen, Nexie, it's not just for you, it's for me too, because I'm giving myself my own kick in the butt. Like, come on, get up, do it, go for it. Yeah.
Well, it for me, it's a great topic, by the way, because it's not just us two that have problems with getting out of our comfort zone, or challenging ourselves with, because I'm a procrastinator, big time.
Mhm.
I always put something I need for myself for tomorrow. Of course, if my kids or anybody that I truly love needs it, I do it right away if they need it, right? Because,
Mhm.
it's a need for someone I love. But when it comes to me, I'm always putting things for tomorrow, or, I do it next week, the day after. No big deal. But we have to, this topics helps us, remind us that, actually helps us and reminds us that it is important that we put ourselves first, because
Mhm.
we would have a better, mental health, a better health, a better way of helping others if we are okay ourselves, if we're healthy mentally and physically. So I think that these topics are the ones that are needed a lot more, because sometimes you're so busy on the day to day, Marlene, that you forget. And when something like this, like someone like you brings it up, you're like, oh my God, I had a goal da 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 months ago. So let me bring it back up. Maybe it keeps on reminding us that regardless of who we care for, regardless of who we're in charge of, that the person that needs to come first so that everybody else can benefit from it is us.
Exactly. Exactly. And the whole thing about that, next, the issue that I had is, when I went to therapy, my hardest thing, oh man, I'm not gonna cry.
You better not. Because then you're crying and I'll cry and we both cry.
I can feel the tears filling in my
Nope.
eyes. But the hardest thing for me, honestly, was I always have been used to giving, and you get used to always giving. And she was like, "But when are you going to put the oxygen mask on yourself?"
Mm-hmm.
She's like, and I'm like, but I, but I, but.
Yeah, I fought with my therapist because, and Marlene, again, you and I have been raised the same way, pretty much the same way. Others come first.
Yes.
Everybody is first. And then if you have time, maybe on your deathbed, it will be you. I'm sorry, I went there. I'm sorry, I should have not
No,
done that.
Lexi, it's the truth. It's the truth.
I should have not said that. But we've been raised the same way. And is that we put everybody first because that's the way we were brought up. That's the way we saw our aunties, our parents, our great parents, great great grandparents do the same thing. Is that everybody came first, right? So breaking that habit of having you
Mhm.
come first before everybody else, it's something that is really hard to break. It's a habit that it takes years. And even from time to time, Marlene, I don't know if you go through this too, you come back to, maybe I should go back to helping others before me. Maybe that's why I'm feeling this kind of way.
Yes, yes, I do. And I will tell you this, Nexi, and everybody in the chat. When I started to, you know, start making it a part of my life, where I started to do things for myself, get outside of the comfort zone, everybody's like, is Marlene okay? Like, she's acting super strange. It's like she's exercising. I was like, everyone's like, when they saw me, like, now they see I have water, they're like, I was like, "You're
What's
drinking
wrong with her?
water? Are you sick?" It's like, "Oh my God, are you dying? Is everything?" I was like,
But
"No, I'm taking care of myself. I'm personally growing. I'm evolving into a better human being." And We have to get used to training our relatives and loved ones that I
There
matter
you go.
too.
There
And
you go.
yeah, I tell people like in the morning when I need you to do I this is my time right now.
The-
Come back in an hour. Bye bye. Yeah, and close the door.
and that's exactly, Marlene. Oh my God, you
What?
hit the nail.
What?
You hit the nail.
What?
Yep.
What? Your time? Like what is that? You're gonna
Exactly.
find out.
Oh my God. I'm telling you, we were brought up the same way. And this is the thing, that when you have people like that have brought you up in that certain way of everybody else comes before you, that me time, going to the gym, doing your thing, it would have been you babysitting for your cousin or your sister so that they can go do the things that they wanted to. So, and this is the thing, that when we start doing this, they look at us like selfish. Oh my gosh, she's so selfish. It's all about her. And so what I had to fight with my therapist a lot is that, he kept on telling me, you're gonna have to stand up. I'm standing up. What are you talking about? I'm pacing around this room. What do you mean you have to stand up? And he says, you know what I'm saying? You have to stand up, and, because that's bullying. I'm like, no, they're my family. They will never do that. No, that is a form of bullying. And I was like, no, it ain't. And I'm thinking, like, he is crazy. So I stormed out of that office, and I'm like, no. And I started, kind of researching, going back, asking my friends, and I went back, of course, as I always did.
Yeah.
And, I apologized for the, I don't know, 20th time that I slammed that door. I think I should have bought him a new door. Not the point. So I had to apologize to him, because I said, you know what? I've been resisting you since we started therapy to stand up and to do. And I've always thought that, you were asking me to betray my family or turn my back on them. And when you explained that it was some sort of bullying, because that's what it was, bullying, I was like, no, it's not. But then I started seeing, the patterns, and it is. And it is, because even though it's not as plain as when it is in the school setting, right? It still is a form of bullying, because they push the kids on you. They make you pick them up at a certain time when you have some other plans. And they, corner you to saying yes. That is a form of bullying.
Mhm. You know what? Hey Carol, how are you doing? Welcome. One of the things that I definitely had to work on is, how, like I was saying, how instead of, okay, in other words, I had to stop living my life the way I normally was. You can't wake up as the same time as your family and then expect to get personal time. So I had
Mm-hmm.
to change my norms. So while everybody was sleeping, they don't even know that I was gone to the gym. They're not even used to you. You know what I'm saying?
You know,
They have to, and they're like, "What you?" I said, "Yeah, I went to the store. I went to the beach. I went to the gym." And they're like, "I was like, yeah, because I'm taking care of me." Yeah.
they're like, oh, let me look that word in the
I
dictionary.
was
Let me
like,
look it up.
I was like, this is super strange and weird. I don't know if I like this.
They're like, let me look up that knee part of that word that you just said. Let me look it up in the dictionary. And again, it putting a stop to all of that. I think it's the biggest hurdle. It was the biggest hurdle for me, and I don't want to speak for everybody else, right? Because I was about to say it's the biggest hurdle for people, for everybody, but it was the biggest one for me, because I wasn't used to saying no to my family. I wasn't used to saying, you know what, no, not today, I don't feel like it. Even if I was sick, even if I was not feeling, the moment, even if I wanted to stay home because I was in the middle of something with my kids, I always had to, put that aside and go and help, everybody else. So that, for me, breaking that was very hard. But once I learned the word no, I told you, Marlene, I went to town with it. I went to
Yeah.
town with it.
Everything became no,
Nope.
right?
Nope.
Everything.
And I was
Like,
so
nope, I
empowered.
can't. Nope, nope, nope.
No,
And then everyone's like, oh, you're out of control now.
I've learned, from a few months back from a certain somebody. It's not no, I can't. It's no, I won't. I don't want to. No, I won't. I don't want to. I learned from somebody. I'm not gonna say no names.
Mhm. Yeah. It's not that you can, it's just
It's
that
just
you
that I don't
don't.
want to.
Yeah. And that's a thing about personal growth too that I learned next, that it's nothing wrong with saying you don't want to do something. Oh, that was
Yeah.
so hard for, oh, I felt like I had betrayed my ancestors by
Me too.
I was like, I'm a horrible woman. I don't what everyone's like, what? Yeah,
Being
I felt like I was a horrible person because I didn't want to be make myself always available for everybody. But if you think about it, if you're always available for everybody, when are you going to be available for yourself?
Marlene, being brought up and still a very strong follower and believer of the Catholic Church. I was brought up Catholic.
Hmm.
When I said no and no and no, I thought I was gonna go to HELL
Yeah,
right after I, you
yeah,
know, said
that's
those
it.
words. And I was so scared and I couldn't sleep for a few nights. And I would walk and pace around like, did I do right? Did I do right? Did I do right? And again, it's not that the church does this to you. It's the people that go to them, which is my parents, my
Yeah.
grandparents, my cousins, and my aunties. So everybody else puts that in your head. I actually went to the priest and I said, this is what I'm doing, this is what I said, and I feel like I'm gonna go. He's like, who told you that? Why
Yeah.
would you? You're supposed to take care of you first so that you can take care of everybody else. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
It's you're in charge of you, he said. You're in charge of yourself. And ever since he said that, I was like, you know what? It is been by the people, they interpret everything the wrong way sometimes. And they, you know, hammer these thoughts in our heads that if we do this, we're selfish. If we think of ourselves first before anybody else, if we take care of our health, if we do the yearly, every 6 months checkups. And what is wrong with you? Are you asking for trouble? Are you
Mhm.
asking for, if you go to the doctor, the OB, every year and you do any other checkup every 6 months, they tell you, are you asking for cancer? Are you looking for some
Yeah,
sort of
you're
disease?
looking for trouble.
You're looking for trouble. Are you asking for,
Yeah.
a lot of people that go to the doctor too often, they get a lot of diseases. And I'm thinking, what? Again, is the way that other people interpret,
Mhm.
certain things, and they put those thoughts into, young ones. And that is the problem, that we grow up with all these fears that they inflict on us, and they make us, selfless by force, not by choice.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's not, and it's not a good thing because I find I'm just unlearning things from just, I haven't even got to my childhood yet from all my therapy. I still probably have just got to probably my teenage years.
Mm.
I was like, one day I'll get to removing some of that, but I feel like for me, it's really good that I've removed about 20 years of my pain. I feel like
Yeah.
that's some personal growth right there, just to not go under from all the pressure from what has happened to me in the past 20 years. But yeah, it's a struggle for
It
sure.
is. It is. And when you get to the working on your childhood, then call me, okay? Because that's gonna be tough. No, no. Again,
Yeah.
because they make us, like I said, by force, selfless since childhood.
Yeah.
That is the hardest thing to overcome. And sometimes, we resent those that brought us up that way because we
Mhm.
have made everyone else besides us first, and then you start thinking, wow, if I would have not done that, I would have been this far in life. If I would have not wasted my time helping so and so raise her kids, I would have been, you know what I mean? Like you start
Right.
presenting yourself and those around you because you're thinking, why didn't you tell me that I could have been, that I could think about me first and it was okay.
Yeah. Even something that I learned when I got to through therapy. Thankfully, my mother was still alive at that time. I was like, "Why didn't you ever tell me I could say no?" Like I remember coming in, like in full force, telling her that, like because that's the way I was raised, and it was not good for at work. Oh yeah, you went. Hey, we don't have anybody. Can you do overtime? And you're exhausted. You don't want to, and you're well.
Of course.
Yeah, okay. And you know you're the best employee. You know how I was like, oh yeah, yeah, yada yada yada. But maybe for somebody else.
But again, saying no, it's one form of getting, out of your comfort zone, right?
Mhm.
Because again, in just that little word, you're advocating for you. You're
Yeah.
saying, no, I'm not going to do it. No, it's not going to happen. And you're
Mhm.
rooting for, like, yeah, for me.
Yeah.
And it's stepping out of your comfort zone because it's not something that you've been,
You.
accustomed to doing, like on an
Mhm.
often basis. I'm sorry. So for me, when somebody says, you know what, we're gonna go somewhere, you're gonna be okay. Just get out of your comfort. When they say that word, it's a trigger. Like, oh, whoa, 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 where are we going? Oh, we're
Yeah.
just gonna go, but no, no, no.
Yeah.
Wait,
What
let
are we
me
doing here?
let me Google that and see how high it is. Because I told you, Marlene, I'm petrified of heights and flying, but I'm working on that. I'm working on that. But again, it's so much that is put on us that as we get older, because we continue to surround ourselves with people that are constantly telling us, "You're doing that for yourself. Wow, you're so selfish. I
Yeah.
needed you 2 days ago and you said no because you went to the store. You're so selfish." So that on itself is very hard to overcome. And you feel guilty and you feel, all types of way until you realize that those are your kids. And what you wanted me to
Yep. Yep.
and
And
what
what?
you wanted me to do was on you, like for you. It wasn't something I offered, something that I said I was going to do. So once you start, making those differences, you feel less guilty and you focus more on you, to the point where now you can say, you know what, I'm going to the gym. I got my gym bag right by the door, right, with my Snickers right on top of the gym bag. I
Mhm.
already have a bottle of water. I cannot make the excuse, oh, I forgot a bottle of water. I got to go back, so that you can go back to the
Yeah.
kitchen.
And I was like, "Oh, I
You
didn't
have
put my
everything there.
gloves in. I
And
didn't put my workout gloves, so I can't exercise without it. So I'm just gonna stay at home." Like you'll find the excuses if you want to find the excuses, but if you really want to do something, you'll push past it. And I had
you
to
have to break
acknowledge
that.
that. Yeah. hmm I had to acknowledge that it wasn't anybody's fault but mine.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was
Oh,
the
yeah,
one.
Marlene. And
I
that's,
was the one. hmm
yeah. And once you do that, everything comes easy. And another thing, I have, my treadmill here at home, so I can walk or run here. So what I did is I enlisted one of my friends that has one too. So we call each other or text each other, are you working out right now? Or let's do 20 minutes. Right. And so we get on it. I'm like, well, I don't know. Come on, let's do it. Because I only have 20 minutes right now. So you hop on it, do your little running, do whatever it, or walking, whatever it is that you're doing. But you enlist someone else to motivate. And sometimes I'm that person to her. Hey, what are you doing? I have 30 minutes right now. Let's work out and talk. Or or FaceTime, whatever it is that we need to do, because sometimes, because you're not used to it, those things not they don't come so easy to us. We have to get back into the groove because we worked all of our lives, and we have to always be making we're used to from work go to the gym or whatever. So now that I'm retired, I have to find another way to do things.
Yeah, and you're doing great, Nexie. You really are. I'm proud of you.
Marlene, I was about to go back to work. I swear, I was about to go there and beg them, give me my job back. It's so boring. But I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not doing that. But yeah, we have to find a way to break those habits, and try not to procrastinate so much, because we only have this one lifetime, right? And time stops for no man, as the saying says. So we need to make sure that we're breaking bad habits, that we're trying to get out of our comfort zone so that we can live life in a better and healthier way. That's what I think.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%, Nexi, because one thing that is like so hard for I think many people that they really don't talk about is trying to get past not feeling guilty about living their life. And I've taken care of people almost for over 20 years working in the medical field, and I always see people at the end of their life, I always talk to them about regrets that they have.
Mm.
And it started to make me think, like, what regrets do I have? Am I doing what I need to do? And I said, man, I need to start getting busy and taking care of myself.
Exactly. And again, but you see, a lot of times we probably have had the time and have had the means, the money to do it, but we feel so guilty of taking off an entire month to travel around the world, or whatever it is that we want to do. We feel so guilty of leaving our family with the burden of their kids, with this, with that, because again, we've been brought up that way. So even though we're trying to get out of our comfort zone, there's a lot of things that we have been brought up with that keep on dragging us back to that kind of lifestyle, or procrastination. We keep on going back there because it's where we're comfortable.
I agree, Miss Nexi. I agree. And that's one of the things that I think it's important for us to have conversations like this, and speaking about, personal growth and challenging the comfort zones. And, it takes maturity. It takes you wanting to make a change, and it takes you keep allowing yourself that even when you hit an obstacle, a roadblock, when you give up or whatever, you can always say, get up again and keep on trying and keep on going.
Exactly. Well, Ms. Marlene, thank you for having me. Thank you very much for allowing me on your platform. And thank you for the topic too.
No problem. My pleasure. I appreciate you coming up, and shout out to everybody in the chat. And I just wanted to say, challenge your comfort zones for your personal growth. You can do it. Thank you so much, Miss Nexi and chat.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Oh, yeah. And see you guys over on the Sip and Chat.
You may want to drop the link, Missy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Be
Bye, everybody.
encouraged, be inspired, be yourself, you will survive. Just know it, just breathe it, and be it, and live your best life.
me. I love me. I've been blessed that I have made it through. I'm stronger and worthy. I am enough now. What about you? I forgive me. I love me. I've been blessed that I have made it through. I'm stronger and worthy. I am enough now. What about you? Ooh, hey, yeah.